What's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. First and foremost, before I get into any of the details and topics on today's video, I wanted to just briefly say thank you for 7,000 subscribers. And not only that, but the recent support that I've been having over the last couple videos. And the amount of effort I put in, to see the amount of effort you guys also put into critiquing the videos, being positive surrounding the videos, and wanting to see more, really strives me to just create better videos and keep the channel running. So thank you, it really does mean a lot. It never goes unnoticed and I'm forever grateful for that. So the topics we're going to be just going into in today's video, we're going to be looking at a possible release date for whether the game will have a beta or not, a new graphic comparison being the bear that was just released today, a possible Recoil change, not confirmed though, the Unity engine that we're going to be moved to in terms of Rust console, and is it going to be the same as Rust PCs on currently in 2025, as well as the donut map release this week. So first and foremost, I'm going to just play the clip here that was done in my live stream. If I'm going to go live, it's usually on Sunday evenings UK time, so if you can stop by, be sure to stop by. It really is appreciated. There was about 100 of you that peaked in that live stream, which was really crazy, and I believe his name was Adam. I'll just play the clip now. He basically opened my mind up as to where we could be getting this new game. Adam says, do you think it will drop on the 4-year anniversary day? Shit! Okay, you're onto something there. Let me just check. When did 21st of May? Yeah, 21st of May 2020. So right now is the 24th of March in 2025. We're just coming up to April. Now, before I go into the release date of anything that, by the way, is not confirmed, this is me speculating in my opinion. Whenever it is confirmed, you'll definitely see me covering this. But let's rewind back as to the reason why I think these dates could be the dates that we could be expecting a beta or the game to come out. So if we zip back all the way to around August, September time, which is going on 7 to 8 months, I believe, since then, that's really when we got our last sort of quote-unquote content update. A lot of people have various opinions on content updates. People think the mill tunnels and the new guns and everything within that update, which was a huge content update, may I add, and then other people believe a content update is adding drones. So really we don't know where the fine line is, but we'll just say for argument's sake that the last content update we got was the industrial update, which is around August time, I would like to say August, September. So if we go from there, that's when the cutoff point of communication between the community and Double 11 kind of hit. And if you remember, during that time period, even though it was only a couple months ago, there was no communication really whatsoever. Everyone was quiet from Double 11, and when you went on their social media such as Twitter, they were just posting skins and saying, oh, wipes today, and we might have a devlog coming out, there won't be too much in it. That's sort of the communication we had. So in my opinion, they started really, something had turned, or something happened behind the scenes, because it was only like maybe a year ago Double 11 said that they would carry on optimizing the game for old gen because there was still a large amount of the community on old gen, and now suddenly 6 months later, or maybe a year later, we're now getting the next gen version. Something happened behind the scenes, whether it was Double 11's idea, whether it's Face Punches, something obviously happened. So since then they've had around 7 months, let's say, to kind of develop this, and obviously you know, making a complete new game is hard enough, and I'm not downplaying how hard it can be to port a game, but obviously we're not making a game from scratch. This is porting obviously the assets and coding from already existing parts from PC onto a better engine that we're going to be going into, which I think is going to be really beneficial for the developers, and it'll be a lot more easier and more fun in terms of their job. So what's coming up? The 4-year anniversary of this game, May 21st. Now we're in March right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get something in April that is obviously going to shake us. Now I think we're going to be getting the cost of the game, because in my opinion I believe there will be a cost. We don't know what it is yet, but I think there will be. Yes, we can hope that there won't be a cost, but expect there to be one, and if there isn't, then hey, well, you're going to feel a lot better. But if you do expect there to be a cost and it does happen, then you know you're not blindsided by it. I wouldn't be surprised if the beta either drops in April or May, but something is going to drop close to the 4-year anniversary of Rust Console, because they've been shown now for 2 weeks. I believe we're going to be getting more graphical comparisons. That's 2 weeks on the run, and they can't do that for the rest of the time. There's going to come a point where they've done this a lot and people are like, okay, we've seen enough, where's the game? and where's the beta. So I think we're going to see a lot surrounding the next gen version of this game in April. But also on the contrary, the first Rust console trailer had been released on the 26th of March, which is this Wednesday. So whether or not something may come, I'm not too sure, but it would be cool just to see, you know, we've had this first trailer and this is how far we've gotten. Again, something to maybe expect, but in my opinion, through all the time they've had developing this new game, I think something will happen in May. April, we may see a full-on trailer for the game. May time will be the beta, and let's say, I'd like to say July or August time will be when we see this game come out and where it's fully refined and people can actually play it and purchase it. But again, none of this is confirmed, let me stress that. This is just my speculating and kind of adding all the pieces together that may or may not come true. So let's all talk about the graphic comparison that we had got today over on Twitter for Rust Console Edition. We had got the bear graphic. Now, may I just say, like, I cannot believe we've had this for going on 4 years. How have we survived? Generally, how have we survived? This, again, looks night and day. The texture's so much better. It looks as if it's 3D, whereas this bear's just 2D. And to me, that bear looks like a fucking rug itself. It's just so bad. Like, even look at his back paw. It's not even touching the floor. But also, a thing to note that a lot of people are kind of moaning about, and I'm going to try and debunk here, is that they're saying there's more color in this image. Yes, you see high saturated greens, you see high saturated blues and all this and that, but it looks as if there's no continuous filter. It's just like bright green, bright blue, and that's it. And it looks like, well, it just looks different and it's hard to see. Whereas you go to the second version, or the new gen version, it's so much easier to see. A lot more space, even with the trees, there's a lot more shadows, and as well, it's just visually less of a strain on your eyes than it is on the old gen. And make no mistake, it's going to be a lot easier seeing people new gen, seeing players that you can obviously shoot, kill, get their loot, whatever, than it is on the new gen. Let's not, you know, just shy away from why we've been complaining all these years for a new gen version, for us to say, oh, it looks like PC, and it's not saturated, this is shit. Like, no, right? This is what we've been crying out for, and we're getting it, so I guess, you know, there's always going to be negatives and positives. People are going to moan about it or have their own opinion. They have their right to their own opinion, which is fine. But I just can't see how you'd want the old gen version more than the new gen. It's just light years away from each other. But we could be getting another week of seeing these graphical comparisons. I'm not complaining. I did say to Double 11, please show us a skin. Pedro replied, so that's got me thinking, are we going to see how good a skin is? Because I swear to God, like, if you want people to pay for skins, give them a skin that is not 360p and looks like Play-Doh, and you'll get a load of people buying and giving you revenue. So let's talk about the recoil change. So this isn't confirmed, so, you know, hold your horses before any of you comment. This is not confirmed. However, so a lot of people have been saying, you know, we're not going to get a recoil change and we're going to continue to have the old recoil. And whilst that may be true, and currently we do have the old recoil, let's not again shy away. We're following PC, and I'm going to show you through a few comments that doesn't confirm anything, but it leads on to we are following PC. PC don't have the recoil we have. We are evidently going to get this new recoil that's in PC. Someone had said in the live stream yesterday about how they brought a new weapon, the HNLMG, and that's got a PC recoil. So, you know, we're already there, but we're going to get a new recoil at some point. It'll be, in my opinion, it'll be good for the game, because at this moment in time, not many people flex recoil as much as they used to back in like 2023. If you're flexing it now, because loads of people have like 5 to 10k hours under their belt, it's not even worth flexing no more. So get that out of the way. So let me just put 2 messages from Ryan, who again doesn't confirm anything in these messages. Let me just not take it out of context. This is what he said, and then I'm obviously going to have my own opinion. So he said, whether it's for the new version or not, the game will still move to be in line with PC as much as possible. Obviously, we bring in changes that best fit the update and or game, but PC is in control of this type of gameplay changes. So yes, if we're following PC, sure, the combat update won't be a priority maybe off the jump, but it will eventually happen. So enjoy recoil that we have right now whilst we have it, because at some point, I said 2025 that it could come, depending on the roadmap. You know, we may see a combat update in the next year or so. Then someone had blasted Ryan in the chat saying, fix the M4 shotgun. You've heard correct. You know what's not deadly? The M4 shotgun, unfortunately. And Ryan replies, you must be passionate about the M4. Currently console has different recoil than PC, so we can't match it exactly. If and or when we update the recoil system, this will be fixed. I won't forget you. Again, he's not confirming anything from those messages, but if we're gonna be very obvious about this, like I've always been saying, we're following PC, and eventually we'll get something along the lines of a combat update. In my opinion, they should actually make their own recoil to fit console, because we're not playing on a mouse and keyboard, we're playing on a controller, but that's up to Double 11 to do. Also, on the topic of mouse and keyboard, it's not going to be compatible with the next gen version. The devs have been very solid and given people clarification on the fact that they're not going to be introducing mouse and keyboard capability. Even though other games do it, it's up to them and they've chosen not to. So for the foreseeable future, I don't really see mouse and keyboard being compatible with this game. It would be a bit weird if they were to flip-flop on that decision and then put it in favor and put M&K compatibility when they've just shoehorned it out and basically said to everyone that said it, it's not going to happen. So the game looks great for Rust Console, and we're now going to be talking about more graphics and the engine that it could be on. Now this obviously isn't confirmed, however it is very likely since it's actually just come out, and this could play into the part as to why Double 11 have decided to do the next gen version right now. So Unity 6, and obviously Unity is the engine that Rust Console plays on, as well as Rust PC. So Unity 6 released in October 2024, and it introduces a range of features and enhancements aimed at improving game development workflows and performance. So these key highlights include graphic enhancements such as real-time ray tracing and universal render pipeline URP, and high definition render pipeline HDRP improvements, AI integration, so Unity Centis, multiplayer support or multiplayer center, platform updates, expanded XR features, mobile web support, licensing and fees, revised licensing model. And these updates position Unity 6 as a comprehensive tool for developers aiming to create high quality cross-platform games with enhanced efficiency and creative freedom. And currently, apparently, Rust PC is still on Unity 2022, and I'm not too sure if they have plans to move to Unity Engine 6, but as per this article, they're still on Unity 2022. So again, there's going to be a lot of things if this was to come true, that Double 11 would be having their focus on the Unity Engine 6 and being able to optimize that for Rust Console next gen. And again, having it on Unity 6, and it will say here that I'm just going to look at, so it says which is officially production ready on supported platforms including Windows, Xbox Series X and S I should say, and PlayStation 5. So really, this could have been in the works for quite a while, and Double 11 probably saw this and thought maybe Unity Engine 6 has just dropped October, let's get ready for it and let's port this game onto this new engine, which streamlines a lot of stuff and I'm guessing a lot more user friendly and better than the past Unity engines. And what a better way to start that by porting a next gen version onto this engine. So going back to the graphics of Rust Console Next Gen Edition, a lot of you are saying as well that the game doesn't look as good in some images than it does in others. So what I'm going to put up on screen now is obviously what we have right now, and then the next gen version of that similar scene. This sort of short cutscene that you see of looking out onto the beach is the one you should be going by in terms of how good this game will look. Because with these screenshots, it doesn't really say in-game footage. They could have had filters on it. The one cutscene we've got is unedited, still in development, but that is what the game looks like. And if you put side-by-side comparisons of that versus, let's say, the tugboat image, you know, there is quite a bit margin of difference in terms of how the sea is looking. Both look great in their own ways. However, the tugboat image does look significantly more refined, high quality, high res, and better. So for now, don't just take it at face value. Don't believe that it may look like this in game. Just go by the gameplay that we've been given that also says in-game footage and not altered, edited, or any filters of such. And also, just to finish off the video, the donut map will be released onto the main branch. This is for community server hosts only. This is not going to be hitting official servers, just communities. So if you're a community owner server, then you can play with this sort of map variation on your server. And that just about wraps up everything there is to talk about for Rust Console Next Gen Edition. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here. Again, thank you very much for 7,000 subscribers. 10,000 is the goal for this year, and hopefully we see the light of day if that comes. Check out all my socials in the description, such as my lo-fi channels, such as my Twitter, TikTok, and my second channel. As always, thank you very much for watching, and take care.